In the days before and after I sold my house, there was a flurry of supernatural events. Even now, 3 months later, I look back and marvel at all the things the Lord did to bring me here, some of which I'm going to tell you about right now. Hey, I'm author Michael Ramsey, and this is Michael Ramsey Books, where I show people how to transform their ordinary relationship with God into a spiritual one. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to hit the red subscribe button and ring the notification bell now. Isaiah 40:31. Those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and not grow weary. After having struggled with long COVID for more than 2 years, the Lord healed me via the homemade tobacco patch, which I talked about in a previous video, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. But before the Lord healed me, I had lost my job and had completely depleted my savings. This is something that happens to people who are afflicted with long-term serious illness. During that time, I completely ran out of money several times. Not until the last time were my closest friends and children even aware of my dire situation. But each time the Lord did something unexpected. I never went without food. I never missed a credit card payment, and I never got more than 1 month behind on my house payments. And by the way, when you have nothing, the Lord is everything to you. You depend on Him because there's no one else but Him. When I was sick, I was worried what would become of me and my children who still need me. I didn't know if I would have to move, and if I did, where would I go? That's when I stumbled across a Traveling with Kristen video, which I mentioned on my other channel, Michael Ramsey Travels, which I'll also leave a link to in the description below. In this video, Kristen was talking about how affordable it is to travel and live in other countries around the world. My spirit moved. I instantly knew this is what the Lord had in mind for me. But how do you go from being too sick to work and not having any money to boarding a flight to Germany exactly 3 months to the day after having seen a YouTube video? A couple of weeks after having seen the video, I put my house on the market. At the time, there were 115 other homes in my subdivision on the market. There was a for sale sign right around the corner from me, another one behind me, and several more up and down the street. And some of these houses have been on the market for months. But despite the fact that it was a buyer's market and it was the end of summer, the worst possible time of the year to try and sell your house, the Lord provided. He put 2 of the most amazing real estate agents in my life. They held an open house every week and had my house sold in 6 weeks. Not only did I get a buyer for my house, it was a cash offer. This was significant because at the time my house sold, I was completely out of money again. I didn't even have enough money to buy groceries. I had $9 in the bank. But you see, not having anything is God's opportunity to do everything, and that He did. Now, a cash offer is a wonderful thing. You don't have to wait for the bank or a mortgage company to approve the loan. But what's not such a wonderful thing is you don't have very long to move. In my case, I had 7 days to get completely out. And I had to spend one of those days remulching the front flower bed. Every morning I prayed, Lord, I can't do this alone. I need you. And every day He provided. I witnessed the true handiwork of God. And the things which I'm about to tell you were only the beginning. I had a lot of things, nice things, but in order to accomplish my new objective the Lord called me to do, all my things had to go. Dishes, coffee cups, small appliances, pots and pans, gadgets, games, gizmos, lamps, computers, TVs, and all my furniture. Everything, including almost all my clothes, anything that wouldn't fit in a suitcase, had to go. Now, gathering up everything you own, selling what you can, giving away what doesn't sell, and disposing of everything else as fast as you can is somewhat of an unnerving experience. But this is what was required of me, and I follow the Lord wherever He goes, or rather, wherever He takes me. I wouldn't have it any other way. But I'm still human. There were some things that were precious to me. Things like my tools my dad gave me and my books. I would have felt terrible if I just dumped all these things off at a donation site. And the Lord knew that. He was considerate of my feelings. Mark, a friend of a friend whom I had never met before, called me on the day after I sold my house. He wanted to buy my tools. It was just enough money for me to buy groceries for the week. In addition to the tools, Mark bought some other things, and I gave him a lot more things, including my precious books. But you see, as I quickly came to see, it wasn't so much the money that I needed. That would come. Moreover, it was finding a good home for my things. My furniture was the next intervention. I had a lot of very nice furniture that I was very proud of, some of which I had won in a contest at work when I was young. I thought of an idea that saved Continental Airlines $1 million. I would have gladly given all this furniture to my children, but they weren't in a position to take it. Again, it wasn't so much the money as it was this furniture that I was proud of needed a good home. I put all my Thomasville furniture on the Facebook Marketplace for a fraction of a fraction for what it cost new. But sadly, nobody wanted it. Now, here's a pro tip. When you depend on the Lord, for some reason, nothing happens until the very last moment. I've been through this enough times to know how it works. There's always enough time, but there's never any more time than what you need, or rather, what you think you need. On Friday at 10 a.m., I was closing on my house. On Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m., I was sitting in my chair thinking I would have to call someone and pay them to haul all my beautiful furniture off to the dump. All the donation sites around me were overstocked on furniture and weren't taking donations. Interestingly, people will go in droves to a flashy new furniture store and pay thousands of dollars for plastic-coated particle wood furniture. But I wasn't able to give away solid wood, cherry, and mahogany furniture that was in pristine condition. But then the Lord intervened. At 6 p.m., there were 3 people at my house buying my refrigerator, my washer, and my dryer, and my dining room furniture. Interestingly, the buyers all helped each other unhook and load up all their things. At 8 p.m., somebody else came and bought my living room tables and my bar stools. And this is the wildest thing of all. At 1 o'clock in the morning, these 2 ladies pulled into my driveway to buy my Thomasville. The mother was in her mid-50s and the daughter was no more than about 30. Now, when I moved into my house, it took 3 large men, grunting and groaning for the better part of an hour, moving this very heavy furniture into my bedroom. But these 2 little ladies picked up every piece of furniture by hand, carried it out, and loaded it into the back of their pickup truck, all in about 10 minutes. These ladies were very excited to have this beautiful furniture for practically nothing. They could have never afforded to buy anything this nice at a flashy furniture store. It was a blessing to them. But what they didn't know was it was even more of a blessing to me. My furniture had found a good home. The Lord connected these 2 women with me because He had consideration for my feelings. These things were only the beginning of things the Lord would do. Next time, I'll tell you about an encounter with an angel and why angels were dispatched. Be sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss this one. And if you haven't visited my other channel, Michael Ramsey Travels, be sure and do so now. That way you don't miss a single video. Can't wait until next time. Like me on Facebook and visit me at michaelramseybooks.com.